What up, guys? Pala Raceway, the motocross opener for 2024, did not disappoint one bit. And before I get into that, I'm going to talk about the 250 class first. But first of all, before I do any of that, guys, I can't stress this enough, but please subscribe. It helps my channel grow. After finding out and after looking at Cooksy's introduction, he says himself that the algorithm judges you by how many subscribers you have. And so if you think I'm worth listening to, just hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. I appreciate it. And anyway, I got quite a bit to discuss, so let's get into this. I'm going to put up my banner here. Jett Lawrence remains perfect. Tom Vialle penalty, Ludicrous. Now, Haiden Deegan would sweep the motos in the opener at Pala Raceway. But quite frankly, after looking at social media, it is confirmed Haiden Deegan will keep the 1-1 sweep. And I got to tell you, I think the AMA is way too biased on that. Not going to lie to you. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some Haiden Deegan fanboys on the AMA, of the AMA officials. And really, if you're going to be a fanboy of Haiden Deegan, whatever. But really, you need to start giving fair penalties, because that penalty that you gave to Tom Vialle was above and beyond stupid and unnecessary. And some are saying, oh, he did accelerate off. So what? You know what? You have to keep the acceleration up. You have to keep up with the pack, because when you're on the freeway, you have to keep up your speed to merge in with the other cars. When you're with the merge lane on the highway, you have to keep going like 25 or 30 just to make sure that you don't hold anyone up, because you're not allowed to stop, because the merge lane does not allow you to stop. And yes, some people do that, which is really stupid on them. And really, if you're not going to penalize Haiden Deegan, then you may as well just withdraw KTM's the penalty on Tom Vialle, because the way that if they say he accelerated off the side of the track, I didn't see any way he gained an advantage. Because really, it's like you're having the Three Stooges out there, just as the AMA officials, or people who don't even know what they're doing. Really. Because not only is the AMA way too inconsistent, but they have quite a bit amount of bias on some certain guys. Like, they're going to penalize Tom Vialle, but Haiden Deegan does it, and it's fine. Chase Sexton did it in the 450 class. That was fine. The way I see it, while I think Sexton's was perfectly fine, he did not gain a position. And really, if you don't gain a position upon re-entering the track, you should be left alone. And I got to tell you, Tom Vialle, for a time in the first moto, Tom Vialle was making me look like a genius, because, like I said, if you saw my prediction video, who did I pick for the motocross title in the 250 class? Tom Vialle. Because I think that Tom is on a high from winning the 250 East Supercross title, and he was going to carry that into motocross. But then again, at the same time, he could be just feeling things out. That's what he did in the opener at Detroit in Supercross. He kind of felt things out. And then as the season went on, he won 2 in a row, and eventually he was able to keep it consistent and hold Haiden Deegan off to win the title. But still, for Tom Vialle to be penalized, oh man, that's like way out of the ballpark from being completely unfair. And KTM appealed it, and it was denied. So I feel for them for sure. But really, you need to start finding more competent flaggers, because what happened on press day with Garrett Marchbanks, and even with Garrett Marchbanks falling and hitting that pile of 3 bikes that were down, that was so poorly handled. And I gotta tell you, if Duke Finch were the AMA official, were the AMA head referee today, he would be puking his lungs out at how this was handled. Not going to lie to you, okay? Really. You need to find people who are just as competent. And for Davey Coombs, after watching Cooksy's video about Davey Coombs throwing a flagman under the bus, that's just above and beyond wrong and one of the most asinine things that you can do. Really. Either find some more competent people or give Duke Finch a call and ask him, hey, we need you back as AMA official again. That's what I got to say. So do I think that Haiden Deegan doesn't deserve Pala? No way. I didn't say that at all. So really, Deegan won it. Congrats to him. But Levi Kitchen was the guy who really surprised me the most because I didn't think that Levi Kitchen proved himself as a legit title contender in motocross just yet. And although this is only one round, he certainly took a step forward to doing so. And if you can back that up, then you're not just blowing smoke up everybody's butts. Really. But still, as far as the penalties are concerned, Tom Vialle is a load of bull. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree. If you don't, whatever. Okay? So really, the AMA has got to find more competent people that can issue fair penalties because what they did with Vialle was not fair. And of course, they say, oh, it's life. Nothing's fair in life. True. But still, if you're going to go after someone for taking for ordering 3 pizzas, and then if you're going to scold your kid for ordering 3 pizzas and yet somebody else orders 6, and that's okay with them, where's the fairness there? That's the way I see it. Now, for the 450 class, I kept the 250 class kind of short, but actually before I get to that, I want to give a shout out to Ty Masterpool for finally earning a ride on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki after it was revealed that Hammaker, McAdoo, and Fortner were not going to be good to go for the opener at Pala. And really, just give him time. Just give Masterpool time. He will get his chance. He will shine bright, and he will. And him earning a ride with Mitch Payne on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team, with Mitch Payne being a disciplinarian, this could very well be what Ty Masterpool needs. I mean, look at what happened to Ivan Tedesco, and oddly enough, or I should say, ironically enough, Masterpool's number 29. And in 2004, Ivan Tedesco was number 29, and he ended up having a breakout season, winning 7 of 8 in Supercross. And although motocross royally sucked for him, he still had good rides here and there. And then in 2005, Tedesco would back up his 125 West title from 04 and win back-to-back titles. And he would end up winning the motocross in the 125 motocross title and then win the motocross donations for Team USA with Carmichael and Wyndham. So am I writing off Ty Masterpool as wasting another opportunity? Absolutely not. That was only one race, and he will have plenty of chances to prove himself, and he will prove himself sooner or later. Take my word on that. Now for the 450 class, Jett Lawrence sweeps again. I don't think anybody expected that to be any different. Jett Lawrence has raced 12 races and has won all 12 in his career in the 450 class. And I'll tell you this, for Jett Lawrence to prove to be pulling off these kinds of stats this early in his career, it's almost kind of giving Jeremy McGrath a run for his money. Because when McGrath just demolished everyone in Supercross, he was winning so frequently that you never knew how long. You kind of thought that McGrath was going to keep on winning until 97 came along. And then McGrath would retire on top and maybe retire as an undefeated Supercross champ. But that didn't happen. He ended up losing in 97 to Emmett. Okay? And I got to tell you, with Jett Lawrence pulling off that triple and just landing on the face of the third jump and almost treating it like a triple on-off, that's the kind of thing that certainly separates Jett from the rest of the pack. For Jett Lawrence to find other ways to pull a gap on everyone, it's hard to believe, but I don't think that Jett Lawrence is ever going to taste defeat in motocross. Not going to lie to you. And the only way that he could taste defeat is if he crashes on his own. But Chase Sexton gave him all he could handle. And you got to think that in that first moto, if Sexton hadn't have gone down, Jett Lawrence would probably be wetting his pants with Sexton putting all kinds of pressure on him. But so far for Sexton, he looks like he's figured out that KTM by now. And I'll tell you this. If Chase Sexton gets a start over Jett Lawrence, we will have a race. And maybe, just maybe, we will see that kind of battle that we thought we'd see from Jett Lawrence and Chase Sexton last year under the same tent when Sexton was under Honda. Now the gloves are off with Sexton going to KTM. And so with Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb on the sidelines, now obviously I'm not going to pencil Jett Lawrence as going perfect again, although the possibility is there. But for right now, in terms of motos, if Jett Lawrence is going to surpass Ricky Carmichael, he's going to have to make it all the way to High Point, which is about the third or fourth round of the season. I think it's the fourth round. But I'm not going to doubt that Jett Lawrence is going to tie Ricky Carmichael for back-to-back perfect seasons. Obviously, Carmichael won all 12 races in 2005. Granted, he did lose 2 motos, but he still won all 12 overalls. So I count that as a perfect season. Do I think Jett Lawrence can go back-to-back in the perfect season? Could have have back-to-back perfect seasons? I wouldn't rule it out. Not going to lie to you. He can do that because he knows how to find time. He knows how to build time on his competition. And if Chase Sexton took a few lessons in that department, we could very well have a dogfight until the final round at Crawfordsville in Indiana. And of course, Jett has been proven human in Supercross, and unless you're another Jeremy McGrath, there's no way anybody's gonna have a perfect season in Supercross. I think Carmichael and McGrath are going to be the two closest guys to pulling that off. Unless you count Carmichael's perfect 125 East season in 1998. Okay? But still, something that I thought was never going to ever happen again happened last year when Jett Lawrence swept the motocross season. But the one thing that separates Jett from the rest of the field is that he lets the races come to him, like McGrath did. Okay? And when Jett Lawrence does that, he avoids all the mistakes. And David Bailey once talked about this. If you're going up in tennis against Agassi or Sampras and they're on, you feel like you have to do everything so perfect. And these unforced errors are what's killing everyone. Or almost like in basketball where you go up against Michael Jordan who drops a 40 burger on you. And you feel like you got to do everything so good or so perfect that these unforced errors are going to eventually cost you the game. Okay? So with Jett Lawrence staying away from all these unforced errors, that's what separates him from the rest of the pack. Is Jett beatable? Yes, he is. Can anybody step up and beat him? I sure hope so. I like to see it as a dogfight. But of course, you got to get a start. If you can start ahead of Jett, that's step 1. And if you sprint the whole way, that's step 2. And step 3 is repeat. So obviously, only one race down, 10 to go. Don't put in a perfect season for Jett Lawrence yet. Obviously, Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb are on the sidelines. And of course, we'll find out. Now, if Jett psychs them out and still wins, then I think it's safe to say that Jett Lawrence has both of those guys covered. Okay? Now, is that going to lead to possible retirement from Cooper Webb? Oh, hell no. Or even Eli Tomac for that matter. Now, is Jett going to have his lunch handed to him at all? Don't rule it out. So, anyway, guys, that's all for today. And remember, subscribe, and I'll see you all when we head to round 2 at Hangtown.